That is something I would learn to fly fish for. Hello everyone, welcome to The Deep Drop. This is a fishing podcast, but a little bit different. No, it's very different. It's actually really, really different. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm Luke McCredden. With me as always, Adam Ring. Adam, I mentioned it's different, but it's easy just to throw that away. So what I'm going to do is throw to you straight away and say, hey, what's The Deep Drop all about?
The Deep Drop is kind of like iced water.
Go on.
Can you tell me the last time you had a sip of iced water and thought, this is shit?
That's a great point.
Hot day, cold day, moderate day, rainy day, dry, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You take a sip of iced water, you're like, this is the best water I've ever had.
So so what you're saying is there's plenty of water out there, but it's not until you get the iced water that you go, ooh, this is good.
Correct. The
Wow.
Deep Drop is the iced water.
That's amazing. I'm proud to be the iced
outdoor
water
podcast.
Yeah, I'm proud. That's great. I love that. Wow. Should we release our own range of iced water?
Iced water.
Yeah.
If we can keep the ice in the water long term, we're onto something.
Or ice trays, the Deep Drop ice trays.
That's where it's at.
Okay, watch this space.
That's where it's at.
Watch this space.
As it freezes, it's got the logo imprinted on the block.
Shit. I wasn't even thinking that. We're doing it. We're doing it. Far out. Anyway, we're already off track and we're 2 minutes in. Welcome, everyone. Great to have you back on board for another week. This is at 174, Adam. Don't know why, but it feels like it means something, 174.
174, yeah.
I mean,
it feels like we've been doing it a while.
We're
but
26 away from double ton.
the double ton.
I mean, whew, raising the bat.
Raise the helmet and give the logo a kiss.
Give the logo a kiss. Kissing the Deep Drop logo on the cap. See? It's everything.
It's all working out.
Hey, I tell you what, we actually have a few caps left. Now, I know that we ran it all pretty low just prior to Chrissy, but I did notice a few caps left. If you want to get a cap before we raise the double ton, because you will want to kiss it.
You'll want to kiss the logo. You will.
Head over to the deepdrop.au. There is caps available. You'll get a stubby holder and a cap combo. Say no more. And there may also be 4 or 5 squid jigs remaining, Adam, with the Deep Drop logo printed on. Now I know. Look, you've been in my side of the office. You know how messy it is, and there's lures and shit everywhere. So my bad, but there were a few tucked away that I wasn't aware of. So if you want to order a combo now, we'll throw one of them in, and happy days, because we want them. We need them gone. I mean, they've got to go.
Yeah. Got to make way for the new stuff.
Yeah, and they
what?
And they catch. It's not just a bloody ornament. Proven. Thank you for coming back on board. If you've been around from early doors, or I don't know, mid hundreds, or just this year, welcome back. Good to have you back. Appreciate the support. We really, really do. If this is your first time, that's welcome.
You maiden over.
It's bloody great. It's your maiden over. No, maiden over is when you don't score any runs. It's your maiden. It's your debut.
It's your date.
It's your listening debut. It's your maiden.
Yeah, maybe. Maiden over sounds nice, but I don't know if that means what I think it's supposed to mean.
Well, it's different, because if you make your maiden test century, it's your first.
Yeah, it's your first.
Your bowler maiden
so
over.
Your maiden,
there's no
your maiden
runs.
over. This is exactly what the Deep Drop is, by the way.
Yeah, cricket's weird, man. We love it, but Jesus Christ. There was some piss drunk when they were making the rules of that game.
Yes.
Wasn't there?
There was.
Yeah. Welcome if this is your first. And we hope you sort of just can follow along and just sit back and, just buckle up, because this could go anywhere, and it will tonight. We've got a couple. I've got a cracker for you, ads, tonight. I've got a question for you without notice. I've done some homework. I've reached out to some friends of the show.
Oh,
for some input in this, because this first topic's going national.
This is a maiden idea for the Deep Drop, being well organised and threw some texties out.
Stop saying maiden. You don't know what it means. Yeah, I was going to go with one, but I don't even know what it means anymore. It's changed.
okay.
It's changed
It's
in the
okay.
last
Just drop
couple
them in
minutes.
randomly. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Socials: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify. All of which
lot.
you can.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a few there. All of which you can get in touch with us directly, and we want you to because we love it. Whether you're sending videos to react to, or you're sending us ideas for things you want to hear on the show, or if you're sending us just how you went fishing on the weekend, awesome. We love it all. We get it all throughout the week. It, truly appreciate it. It makes us feel great, and this is why we do it, Adam. We don't do it for bloody, we do this, and we've started doing this from day one because these are the conversations we have when we're out fishing or whatever on a road trip, around a fire, having a couple of stubs, and we know that these are the real conversations.
We want more feedback. This is the thing, even with our conversations, and you're right, these are the conversations we have in private. We just want more thoughts, ideas, because there's so much stuff to cover.
So much stuff.
And then when we do uncover something, it spans 8 or 9 other questions.
Yeah.
And 6 or 7 other different avenues in which we can go down. And we will go down all of them in one block.
Like just recently we spoke about circle hooks. I didn't get a real definitive push of people that were using them. There were a few comments saying, yeah, we're definitely using them, they're great. Yeah, cool. But there wasn't like, I thought there might have been a big rush of people going, bloody lay off
what do
the
you mean?
circle
You guys
hook.
aren't using circle hooks? Like,
exactly.
do you even,
We spoke about bag limits versus what you're actually happy with. Or,
Yep, that was a good one.
Yeah. Speaking of bag outs, just the bag out brag, we're a bit over that. We spoke about snapper being uncool. Like this, it's just all of this stuff adds.
Anything we think of, we're going to have a conversation with it on the pod.
In episode 1, correct me if I'm wrong, was the discussion, the very first topic of the deep drop was, what defines a barrel tuna? Was that the first?
Yes, it was to do with barrel tuna and what was it? What is a barrel?
What is a barrel? What weight is a barrel, I think. And we landed
that
on...
I think we had a definitive answer.
Yeah.
Well, not we did. We had a definitive answer.
Was that the
it was
last time we
100
had a definitive answer?
Maybe. We might have thrown one out in episode 2 as well, but
Maybe.
we digressed quickly.
Wow, did we what? Anyway, 174 episodes on. We're back, and get in touch, any of those social platforms, or you can shoot us an email on the website, thedeepdrop.au, whatever tickles your fancy.
Was it a soda and lime CC, by the way?
It was, or it is, I should say.
Refreshing, isn't it?
I'll be honest, I didn't mean to buy them. I went for the dries and somehow ended up with the soda and lime.
Oh, you cooked it.
And then, when you're expecting
It's not bad though, is it?
I don't
for a
mind
change
it.
up.
It's refreshing for a change up. But at first sip, I went, what the fuck is this?
The ginger ale got soft on me.
I don't know whether I just went colourblind because it's two very different colours.
It's very different.
So, no, it's good. It's a good drop. CC, if the good folks at CC are out there listening, get in touch because...
Yeah, just happy to drink your watered down dries, whatever.
Mate, it's not bad at all. I mean, we love it, don't we, Ads?
Mate, it's no iced water. I mean, it's heaps better than iced water. If you anyway.
I can't believe we're doing ice trays, by the way. Fuck.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
All right, hey, bit of real talk. Can we do a bit of real talk straight off the top, just for a second?
Go. Yeah, let's go.
This is why I love fishing and the space that we're in. Not necessarily industry, but just the pastime, the hobby, the sport. Fair to say it's a bit of a shit fucking time at the moment for a lot of reasons for a lot of people. Fuel's $1 million a litre. Cost of living's fucked. That's all I need to say about that.
Yep.
Interest rates are going up again and again and again.
Yep.
It's fucking hard, Ads, and I think we're all feeling it. And I just went for a bit of a Sunday walk, rod in hand, just a bit of fresh air down the local pier. Just because I love as I've said this on the podcast before, I love sometimes just going for a bit of a stroll and chatting to people or seeing what people are up to. And 2 or 3 times just found myself in really light conversation, just how you going type thing, what's happening. And the one thing that I found each time we stop and just chat And it can be about catching a undersized Australian salmon, or it can be about hooking a big one that busts you off on the rocks down near the pylons. Didn't matter. You forgot about all the shit for a bit?
Yeah.
Just for a bit?
Yeah.
This is why fishing's the best fucking thing in the world. It's not
The
about...
greatest switch off of all time.
It's not about fucking, waving your dick around saying how good's all my trophy fish. It's about just escaping.
Yep.
Just
Switch
for
off
a
for a
brief
bit.
moment in time. And so shout out to the great folk I met down on the pier. It was awesome. Just to strip it all back and just have a chat.
There's a few fish getting about.
Yeah, there's been big schools of salmon. It said what I was just talking about. So a lot of groms down there chucking medals around, which was sick.
Nice.
There's always some good. There was some nice King George whiting caught off the rocks down there. There's some nice trevally and pinkies and stuff around, and squid ink. I love walking down there and seeing all the ink on the ground, and you go,
and you're like, oh, that's fresh. That's just happened.
happened last night. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just and what I also find is, we are deeply entrenched in this as an industry from what we do in our day jobs, this podcast, and then just general life. That you forget the joy that a small pinky or a salmon or a banjo shark brings, and you go, "Fuck, that's good. Fucking oath.
Yep.
Embrace that. Enjoy it. Well done." So I just, it's a bit shit. But we can just take a moment to get out, breathe some air, cast a line, and just escape for a little bit. And that's
that's
what
good.
That's what we can do, and that's what fishing can help us do.
Well, we are going to be moving into a time as the weather gets cooler. We automatically think of that as fishing season over. Not particularly, because I find the species that are easily caught land-based, especially, they start to really thicken up in the times where it gets cooler. So things like your Australian salmon and your trevally and the calamari will hang around. They are the things that you can just go and have a flick for an hour and a half and see what happens.
Yeah. Just break the monotony of the day.
Yep.
Love it. Anyway, I just wanted to table that straight off the bat.
It's good.
We'll go back to talking stupid shit in about 10 seconds. You mentioned species. You just said the word species, and it's a perfect segue, Ads, because I have a question for you. Now, we live in a very serious world that sometimes we just want to get out into the fantasy world. And, we've seen the likes of the gaming world blow up over the last decade or so. I just want to take, just for the next 20 minutes or so, Ads, or 10 minutes, whatever it is, let's just enter the fantasy world of fishing and go. My question to you... And by the way, this has been suggested by a few community members over the last couple of months, and we just haven't got around to it. If you could add one species to each state in Australia, what would it be? And it's easy just to reel off a species now off the top of your head, but let's think about it.
How deep are we going to go on this? Are we talking
as deep as we need?
Are we talking if we add a species? Are we going to break down what effect it would potentially have on the species that already exist? Because we're not trading, we're adding. Correct.
Adding. Correct. So
okay.
So they could listen. You and I, for those who aren't aware, Adam and I live in Victoria. Spend most of our time fishing Victoria. The southern part of New South Wales, Ads, fair to say, that would be the bulk of our fishing. We are fortunate enough to fish all around the country at various times, but the bulk of our fishing is Victoria. I think we can speak confidently about Victoria. However, I thought, well, we could just make stuff up for the rest of the country. Nah, I shot out some texties today, Ads, and I thought the deep drop, friends of the deep drop, who you will know and the community will know based on the fact they've been on the show before, or they'll just know their name, and just to get some of their feedback in. But I don't know, how do you want to start this? Do you want to just look at our own backyard for a moment and just have a think about what we think here in Victoria?
Yeah, let's throw some Victorian ideas around, because we'll be able to break that down nice. I'm very interested to hear what's going on around the rest of the country, because we could just throw out some species and go, yeah, that'd be cool, but it means nothing to us.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we start with Vic, or do we bring it home with Vic?
Maybe we'll bring it home with Vic, because we might have a bit more... a
bit more clarity around what everyone else is thinking.
Because
I've got some ideas,
Because the thing for
But I'm just not
yeah,
sure.
the thing for Vic in the past, or we've been criticised as not having the cooler species. You know what I mean? Like with the more recent years, we've had a better fishery of kingfish and bluefin tuna and stuff, and even swords. But the cool stuff's up north, or But all right, so I'll start. Let me put this to you, and I want you also to break it down a bit from what we know about each of these states too. Yeah. Yep. I threw it out to our good friend Curtis Waterman, who was recently on the show, about WA. Mm-hmm. So what is it in WA that you would love to just add? Now, at first thought, you go, Jesus, there's not much because they've got it all.
Got a bit of everything.
Yeah. Now, Kurt went on a bit of a spiel, which is great because he
I
thought
love this
about
already.
it.
It means he's taking it seriously.
I think the giant tarpon that they get in America would be a nice addition. I can imagine schools of them moving in and out of places like the Exmouth Gulf. We get big fish, but there's not many estuary species that get big like those. I think that would be something very cool and very different. And then I'm like, yeah, that's a great answer. And he's like, also peacock bass. So, interesting. Those,
okay.
Yeah, because they're an interesting fish, those giant tarpon. That's what they call it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they are very much found in weird water in a way, if that makes sense. Shallow, skinny water in some cases. Listen, I'm just talking about what I've seen from South America and North America.
Abroad.
Yeah. Now, I think if you add them anywhere in Australia, it'd be fucking pretty epic.
It's going to be pretty epic. So, what would a giant tarpon... I think this could be, off the top of my head, and please throw some ideas at me because I'm struggling to think of a few. I can't see a downside. What are they going to affect?
Don't know. And I don't know.
They're going to eat a heap of pilchards and stuff, but that's fine. They're not going to eat the ocean out of pilchards. So I think we're okay there.
I think we're okay. I mean, would they slow up the run of salmon because they're eating too many of the pilchards? Don't know. Hard to say.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Would they eat the salmon? Don't care. Awesome.
That's okay. Yeah, fine.
So it's a pretty wild one, and it would just if you added that, you just go, Jesus, they really do have it all. WA. When I was thinking for WA, and I don't know that they've necessarily got the waterways to support it, but given that they do have an amazing array of species, if you added some iconic Australian species like a Murray cod. Freshwater's not what you first think of in WA, but they do have freshwater fisheries.
Yeah.
They've got trout, they've got redfin. Now, it doesn't get spoken about a lot, and it might not be necessarily a big part of the fishery, but if you just add another iconic, it's like,
okay,
clocked it.
So, all right, Curtis could be onto something with peacock bass because it's an easy one to throw around to just go peacock bass because they look awesome, they eat top water, and they grow pretty big for an estuary fish. But the issue is they will take over an entire waterway.
Yeah.
So if you were thinking like, say, adding them to the Murray as an extra freshwater species, no, it's a terrible idea. They're going to outcompete everything.
Yeah.
But what if we throw them into somewhere like WA where they're only competing with introduced species anyway? Do we say solely as a fisherman's dream, don't worry about Murray cod and trout and redfin. Like, who gives a rat's? You can go and catch them anywhere else. But what if WA was the home of peacock bass in Australia? I'd travel there.
For clarity, I should read Curtis's full message. Also, peacock bass, big colour, fun, angry fuckers in the creeks would be sick. So,
Perfectly said.
Like if that was the sole place to catch them in Australia.
Yep.
Mate.
Because if you put them anywhere else, and please, Curtis, tell me if I'm being an idiot because I don't know much about Western Australian fishing, especially freshwater. We're not really... We can afford to lose what's there for peacock bass, I think. Now, that might be a little bit controversial to say, but if you're going to throw them, like I said, into the Murray, you now risk Murray cod, yellow belly, Macquarie perch, all of our natives that were already here and have thriving fisheries. I wouldn't say we necessarily need to put them in. It sounds cool and it would be cool, but to the detriment of what we've already got. What are we fucking up in WA by putting in peacock bass?
I don't know. Yeah.
Reddies, who cares? Noxious anyway, technically. Trout, who cares? Introduced.
Yeah.
Come to Vic and Tassie, catch as many as you want.
Yeah.
But peacock bass in WA.
Because you go, oh, trout are cool though. But we're talking
No,
about
not as cool.
Not as cool as peacock bass.
No, and it's not. They're not fully established fisheries in WA, are they? This is what I'm
they're
saying.
Fisheries. They're fisheries, yeah. But
Yeah.
no, I know. No, I'm with you.
Like, because it feels like trout in WA is we had a few leftovers from the hatchery at Snobs and just flicked them over to WA. Yeah. Does, doesn't it? I'm not trying to sound rude, but
it's like your WA, Adam, for a minute. I'm sort of the eastern seaboard.
Yeah.
Hey, Ads, by the way, before you go, have you got any fresh sort of creeks, freshwater creeks or ponds or anything?
Yeah, we do. Hang on, am I Victoria again?
No, you're WA.
I'm WA.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, heaps.
Oh, cool. What's in them? Have you got anything in them? Because I've just got some stuff. Look, you don't feel obliged, but if I've just got some leftovers.
We'll have them. I don't. No one's fishing freshwater anyway. No one. Are we talking fishing? Like, we're talking for the anglers. We're looking after the anglers here, or are you thinking more like
It's more.
What have you got? Just hit it to me. Hit me straight.
It's more me. You're looking after me. I need to get these things off my hands. So can I just send some trout over?
Oh yeah, 100. We got water. Everyone loves trout. It's fine. Don't stress. Send them over.
That's
We'll
what
take
that's what it felt like the conversation was.
I'm pretty sure that happened.
Yeah.
So okay, so WA.
Yep.
Would you be happy to pencil in the giant tarpon
Yep.
for that shallow, offshorey little bay type arrangement?
Yep. Can
And
I just say
then-
one caveat to all of this? Don't worry about water temperatures and stuff at the
Yeah,
moment.
no. This
Don't
is
worry
fantasy.
about that.
It's-
Yeah.
No, it's pure fantasy.
Because I just don't want
Pure
people going,
fantasy, next level.
Giant tarpon in down south near Albany, they won't survive.
Yeah, we don't care.
worry about that. They will survive.
No, we don't care.
They'll be fine.
We just want to know if they'll eat everything or not. Really, that's what we're.
So WA, we have a great part of our community in WA. Let us know how you feel about giant tarpon.
Feel as though they could be introduced, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter. It's not going to diminish anything else. It's not going to affect any other fishery. It's just going to add an unbelievable sport fish.
I wonder if because they're fucking massive, is there potential for them to scare off some of those sharks? Because they get sharks down the Swan River and all that are a bit of a nuisance, like bull sharks and shit.
Yeah.
Could they potentially push them away? Which would be cool.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. Anyway, don't know, but okay,
Or it's just more shark food, whatever.
maybe. Can we move up to the NT?
Yeah. Are we going to lock in peacocks as well?
Well, we said
I
one.
feel more. Oh fuck! Kind of feel more comfortable with the peacocks because I don't
ya?
think it really fucking. I don't think it.
How-
I'd
how-
love to have peacocks in this country,
But
and I feel
think
as though
about the
WA's got nothing to lose.
Hey, it's our first state. We've got more opportunities to go around. So we're only doing. We can't
Okay.
use the same species, by the way. This is the only rule
Yes.
I'm putting in place.
Okay. So
Think.
giant tarpon, lock that in for WA.
Well, think about it like
I'm happy.
this.
I was
there's-
just throwing it out there.
No, that's cool. If there's an argument to lock in giant tarpon, think about realistically how much of an opportunity there is for peacock bass opposed to the whole coastline of WA for giant tarpon.
That's very true. Yeah. Okay. Go
all I'm saying.
tarpon. Oh, that's
all I'm
okay.
saying.
That's a good point. It's a good point. I was getting selfish for a second. I apologise.
Hey, don't apologise. Safe space. So WA giant tarpon.
Okay. Good suggestion, Curtis. Well done.
Yeah, well done. Okay, we move to
like
the N of T.
Okay.
Now, for this one, this is an interesting one because you could argue that they've got the fish. They've got bass.
Yeah, that's right. They've already clocked the
So what are you
they've
going to
already
do?
clocked
So I reached out to and shout out to Mark Singleton, who is a representative, a regional sort of manager for Anaconda stores in the top part of Australia. He spends a lot of time in the Northern Territory and catches lots and lots of barra. He came back to me with 2 words and 2 words only. Black bass.
Oh, shit. We know it works already.
Yeah.
We know it works.
Yeah.
Go to PNG. They get barra and black bass.
It's just
It's a match made in heaven.
It seems too easy. And
Oh, my God.
yeah. And it was just it was an instant response that was clearly thought about prior to this question popping up.
Love
you
that,
know what I
by
mean?
the way.
I just feel like it's something that's on the.
He's like, finally, someone asked me what should get introduced here.
Yeah.
Black bass. That sounds. I just want to throw it out there. It sounds too good to be true, and maybe that's why they're not already here.
I wonder why they're not. If that makes sense, are they a
I know why
threat
they're
to
not here.
barramundi?
No, I know why they're not here.
Why?
Because the Northern Territory doesn't have enough space for everybody to live. Because if there was black bass and the thriving barramundi fishery they've already got, so I can't even speak. I'm that excited.
Yeah.
Can you imagine there was black bass in the NT?
I don't know if it gets much
aren't
better.
they here?
Does it get much better? And there are people listening. I know this because I've spoken to them, and they are listeners of the show that have done the New Guinea black bass fishing.
Yeah.
And there's never it's always just an intense sort of, revved up conversation about it. It's just insane.
Is it the only species where if you were fishing for them and you caught a barra, it's the only time in your life you'd go, oh, fucking barra?
Maybe. That's a good point.
Imagine
if your
you're fishing,
bycatch is barramundi,
imagine you're fishing the Darling in peak runoff time, and you're like, we're going black bass fishing, like it's time.
Yeah.
And you just catch 100 barra, and you're like, fuck, you're trying to shake them off when you catch, like, can you imagine?
So the fact that they both coexist in New Guinea, and I don't know that New Guinea necessarily have, and I don't know. I'm literally saying I don't know this. So please, if you do know more info, let us know. But do they have the population of barramundi that we have? You know what I mean? The big numbers of all different size fish and blah blah blah.
I think so.
Do schools of small barra just get fucking annihilated by black bass? I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Is there any risk? What is the risk? It can't be a risk because they do already coexist.
But how do we not have black bass? What went wrong? Like what do we have? What does our water do that the PNG water doesn't?
Or
that's made it comfortable for black bass,
like
and the reason they're not over here.
We're staring down the barrel right now, Adam, middle of March 2026. We're staring down the barrel of what should be an unbelievably good runoff period up the top end. Can you imagine that? And then while you're thinking runoff barra, starting to think runoff black bass. Like, it's just... But the beauty, do you know what's great? And this is why it's also great. It's great for the tackle, the retail sector and the tackle companies because it's a whole new form of, you could do it. You could target them exactly the same way you target barra, but no, there would be specific black bass lures. There would be rods designed for them. There'd be
the beefed up gear. It's an automatic pencil it in.
Yeah,
There's no other. I don't even want to hear about another species that could be introduced into the Northern Territory because black bass is it.
Yeah,
like it's it.
Yeah, and okay, this is where if you are, and you and I are far from politically sort of, well versed, mate. If you're fighting for a seat or whatever, or you want to win an election,
just promise the black bass.
Promise the black bass. Mate, I will fucking vote, and I'm not even from there.
I don't see a downside. And this is coming from someone who knows nothing about anything environmental. I don't see a downside.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, I guess that's a question we need to raise. If anyone is listening that is, probably not as environmentally challenged as Adam and I, let us know.
Yeah, what would be...
what could be the challenges or the harm that could come from it? I mean, we didn't even touch on another species. That's it.
We don't need to.
Okay.
That's the one.
Right, that's the one.
I don't think there's going to be another species set on this list that could be more perfect for an area.
Well, okay.
I'm going early, but that's too good.
Yeah. No. All right. So black bass for the territory, which leads me... I was going to go round, but I'm going to shoot down and go to South Australia.
Yep.
because this is an
Snapper.
interesting one. You laughed.
Sorry.
I messaged our good friend Leuben
soon.
Pfeiffer, and Leuben said, if I could have some input, it would definitely be adding Snapper back on the list.
Oh, see, I was
7
mucking around.
years it's been closed. Have you thought
I was
about
mu-
that? Because I
Mate,
feel like it was
mucking
just
around,
recently.
and now I feel bad.
No, but
Now I feel bad. If the locals are asking for what they already had, it's pretty.
well,
it's pretty shit.
it's 7 years. I feel like it was only yesterday
Really?
they made that announcement. Yep.
I thought they only.
Well, they keep renewing it. They keep. Fucking,
Yeah,
But it's a
it
Leuben.
kind of feels like it's something that's never going to happen.
Shout out to Leuben, who we get him on the show soon. By the way,
Yes.
I've always been a fan of what Leuben's done and everything he's sort of, his values he stood up for, but also the fishing he does is pretty cool too. But it's a sore point in South Australia.
That's a dark answer.
I know, because of all the fantasy species you could bring from anywhere from around the world, they're just like, I just want me snapper back. And rightly so.
Do
It's
you
a
know what?
world-class fishery.
I was just about to say, cast your mind back to the days of Arno Bay and like Whyalla. When the snapper season opened and every fish felt like they were 25 pound.
Yeah. Well, they were.
just unbelievable. There was genuine Victoria versus South Australia. No, we have the better snapper fishery. No. We do. If you want to catch more snapper, you come to Victoria. And then the South Aussies would sit back and go, yeah, but do you want to catch them to 30 pound?
Yeah. If you want to
this
catch,
is what's up.
they would look over and go, if you want to catch pinkies all day, yeah, cool, go to Vic.
Yeah, but if you want to get a trophy, if you want to knock off PBs every drop, just come here, opening weekend.
Yeah. World class, like no doubt about it. Unbelievable fishery as far as size goes.
Insane.
Crazy.
It probably would be best in the world.
I mean,
They've got us covered.
Yep.
I hate to admit it, but they
Oh,
do.
no, but they do.
Just for sheer size.
For size, you can't deny it.
Can you imagine that that fishery was thriving when things like micro jigs and flutter jigging and that got big?
Worsling got one on a fucking spanner, for God's sake.
Ring spanner. Yeah, I
So,
know.
but to your point, from a
And
product,
listen, that stuff was around, but it was not really thought of as a viable option down here because it sort of set. Do you remember in the shop every time that South Australian Worsling episode would air and they were catching fish on Lacanis?
was that the one with Haystow and White, Cam White and John Hastings?
It was either with those two or it was
Yeah.
with Swerve and Mervyn.
Oh, my. Lucanus. It was the
Lacanis. And we would not sell any and then every time all of a sudden the shelves would empty of Lacanis, and it was because that there's a repeat of the South Australian iFish episode
Yeah.
where
It's the only time
they were
Lucanus has
catching them
been
on
popular.
Lacanis. Yeah, when iFish was replayed in the South Australian show.
Remember the time we went fishing? We went away, and there was a friend of a friend who thought we were talking about Greg Louganis when we were talking about Lucanus. It's like, why are you guys talking about that diver that banged his head on the diving board? Well, what?
Also an interesting story. It's something I YouTube way too often, but whatever.
But yeah, so I want to, and massive shout out Leuben, I appreciate that, and it's a bloody good call. I want to write that on the list, but I'm not. I feel like we could get. But
Well, so what are you thinking for South Oz? What part of South Oz
well, I think.
are you thinking?
Can I throw something out there that might be wacky?
Please.
South Australia's
Yeah,
got
please.
magnificent beaches and the coastline's beautiful, but the beaches are stunning, and there's a fair area of beach that is so fishable, and there's really good mulloway fishing, big
think I know
salmon,
where you're going.
King George whiting.
I think I know where you're going.
If you threw rooster fish,
Yes. This is where as soon as you said beach, I'm like, he's going roosters. He's calling it early.
can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Can you imagine sitting off Yalata as you're waiting for it to get dark so you could put your mulloway baits out, and you're just catching a few salmon for bait. Every second sambo is 4.5 kilos, and you're like, I just want to bait. And you're starting to get like, all right, it's dusk. We're getting into Mulloway time, and a school of roosters just cruises the breakers in front of you. You'd be like,
Mate.
fuck Mulloway,
Yeah.
fuck salmon. What are we now? Would you consider taking up fly fishing
Yep.
if roosters on the beaches of Yalata was
Yeah.
a thing?
Yeah, and I would. And there's too many people that talk about them that have done it that say it's worth just waving the wand. They're kind of like that in bonefish. Shout out to
Yes.
Tim Carter from Halco who went and did a bonefish trip on fly. Not a fly fish show. And he said, "Oh, I'm converted." I said, yeah.
Ooh, big call.
For bones. I don't reckon he'll do it for trout, let's be honest.
Yeah, yawn.
But yeah, but again, then you go, Australians are too adventurous for that. They're not going to settle for just
No
flies.
way.
They're going to go, all right, what else are they going to eat? Are we going to start chucking some heavy bibbed minnows out into the surf and cranking them back? And
Mate, I reckon you'd have locals just chasing fish down on the beach, throwing unweighted pilchard strips.
drone fishing, droning out some fucking pillies.
Just you could do everything. You could yeah, like the weighted minnows, just searching for those ones that aren't necessarily that have pushed bait up onto the shore breakers, and you can see them. You're just still catching them out the back of the breakers. Like, dude, I think it's a mad suggestion.
I can't
Downfalls?
see how they're going to fuck anything up. They're not going to mess with Mulloway.
No, definitely not. And again, it's you're on an ocean beach, so they're not going to mess with bait. Like they're not going to eat you know what I mean? They're not going to eat the ocean out of anything.
Imagine catching a few salmon off the surf on slugs, and every now and then you just get one back that's just been crunched, not bitten by a shark, just crunched. Like, do you know what I mean? And just going, roosters are here.
Imagine chucking your 60-gram slug out and catching a rooster by accident.
But can you? I mean, do people do that on rooster? I don't know.
Surely, no, and I wouldn't have a clue, but surely if they're chasing fish along the beach at 100 miles an hour, they're going to eat a slug.
They have to, yeah. This is what I mean. So that's what, to your point, yeah, I would, that is something I would take up or learn to fly fish for. But at the same time, I'd also there's a lot of lures on the market that I reckon I could ping in front of them and get them eaten.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, all right. And again, without being disrespectful to Lube and the South Australian community, because we all want snapper back. Let's be honest. We all want snapper.
ASAP. It should have been open 5 years ago.
Yeah, so that's almost like it goes without saying one. For the fantasy world we're living in right now, are we going to lock in rooster fish?
Yeah, lock it in.
Okay, are we good? We're locking it in?
Yeah, I feel as though South Australia is kind of the perfect spot for it.
It's crazy that we both kind of had that thought.
Yeah.
Massive,
as soon as you said beach, I knew.
Massive shout out, Lubin. Really appreciate that one. And we're totally with you on the snapper. But hey, we're just so far, just a bit of a running tally. We've gone giant tarpon, black bass, and rooster fish are now Australian species.
This is unbelievable.
Looking for your next fishing weapon? Bar Crusher is Australia's #1 fishing boat builder, leading the industry in design, excellence and quality. For the most advanced plate aluminium fishing boats, or to build your dream boat online, visit barcrusher.com.au. I want to now go to Queensland. Big state.
This is going to be tough because it feels like they've already got everything.
Now, we're going to have to, exactly. We're going to have to step in here, Ads, because I reached out to our good mate Declan from TT, from Tackle Tactics. Yep. Declan's a gun fisher. He's fished almost every inch of Queensland. That might be an overstatement. All he responded was, "Is this a species from anywhere in the world?" And I said, "Anywhere in the world. Let's get creative, baby." And he said, "Man, imagine 100-pound tarpon rolling around in the drains." And I'm like, okay, totally, but we've just done it for WA.
Yeah, we've already.
And I didn't say that. So this is all obviously earlier. So I didn't know what we're going to do. He then did say, or imagine breeding spot-tail bass or black bass for the impoundments. And I'm like, oh. I mean, they'd get, he's like, they'd get 50 to 60 kilos in big timbered dam like Mondrian or Teamberra. Teamberra? Is that right?
Teambra. Oh, fuck.
So we're stuck because we've done them. We've already done black bass and giant
That's
tarpon.
right.
So we need something new for Queensland. Now it's hard because they've got Barra. They've got, all your...
Oh, they've
because
got
even
1,000-pound
pelagic.
marlin.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, your big
Yeah, they've got the Great
mackerel
Barrier
and-
Reef, so they've got all of the
Dogtooth
blue water
tuna,
stuff
all
covered.
that shit.
They've got all that covered. So, okay, so, all right. Now we're getting somewhere because I feel as though now it becomes a freshwater dam species.
What didn't we put in WA because we could only have one?
The cockies.
Yep. Surely peacock bass
So-
could coexist with Barra in impoundments.
Okay,
And
potentially with Barra, they could.
Could they be?
But are they going to slaughter all the bonies and stuff too quick that the Barra would struggle?
But there's a shitload of big fucking Barra. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying,
but
like, as far as
the other issue too is you would assume the peacocks would they breed in there, or do they need running water as well?
well, can we just say, and I'm just spitballing here, peacock bass for Queensland, but that's not restricted to impoundments. Could they live in estuarine or freshwater creeks and rivers? Are they
Would
freshwater
you-
only? They're just a freshwater species.
Yeah, they're freshies.
Right.
So would you give up things like jungle perch?
Yep.
To have
Hey, beautiful fish, the jungle perch. But come on. But it's hard because
I feel
they're
it, but
not-
I just feel as though somehow wild peacock bass would fuck with
something.
the Barra
Yep.
fishery.
Mate, yeah,
Barra.
okay,
And
maybe.
we can't afford it.
No, we can't afford
it.
Yeah, this.
But if the cockies don't need running water to breed, I think they could potentially coexist with Barra in the impoundments.
Mm.
Now, the bass impoundments, they'd probably outcompete Aussie bass.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a. Do we know that for a fact though? Like, you know what I mean? Could the Aussie bass just be the little cousins that do their own thing, and the peacocks leave them alone? They're both bass.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's more just would they wipe out the food?
Yeah, yeah.
Because aren't they renowned for it?
I think so. They're like. I was going to mention tonight in one of these, but you just say no straight away, and I am with you. Snakehead.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
fuck everything.
Because I thought it too,
Yeah.
but I thought no matter where you put them, they're just going to annihilate everything, and then they'll just walk on land to the next impoundment and fuck that too.
Yeah. What about? All right, this is going to sound boring, but just go with me. What about trout? Freshwater stream trout, inland Queensland, beautiful rivers, sort of creeks and river system. I don't know,
Maybe.
because let's be real, they're not going to fucking anything.
Okay, we need. No, I need someone from the Queensland community to reach out because I feel as though from someone who lives in a state where there's trout pretty well everywhere, like jungle perch are way
Yeah,
better
I
than
know.
trout, aren't they?
Oh, mate, if we had jungle perch,
But
in
are we
Victoria, I
just
wouldn't be-
just saying that because we don't have
don't have
jungle
them.
perch and we've got a heap of trout?
maybe? Fuck,
'Cause
we've
it-
gone.
trout-
have
because
we
trout
gone early on
instant-
rooster fish?
Because
No. I'm happy with
No,
rooster fish in
but,
South Australia.
no. Yeah.
I've got one.
Is there something around maybe there's like American snook or striper?
We've got them.
Pretty boring,
They're
though.
mackerel and cooter. You know what I mean? What about, okay, go with me here. A lot of Queensland has some beautiful reef systems to fish, structure and reef. WA jewfish.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm getting a bit complicated now, but hear me out.
Not really, but I think it's the answer.
One of the some of the most absolute prize reef captures in Queensland. It's emperor. It's nannies.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
the big reds.
Yeah.
What about the big grey and brown and slightly weird colour formation of the Jew?
Fuck.
That would, I mean, because when you're jigging,
This is interesting because we don't look to what we've already got in this country. We automatically think we're drafting from
That's
around
right.
the world. And Queensland is literally got all of the cool shit from around the world.
imagine up on the Whitsundays, you're dropping jigs for reds, getting railed because they fight like fuck, and then all of a sudden it just feels a bit different, but it's going hard as shit. Or it could be a Jew. Fucking yes, it is. I don't know. Yeah.
I love this one. I love this one because I would love to say impoundments, but really don't want to fuck at the special thing we've got going on with Barra and Bass impoundments.
The only thing about adding something to an impoundment from a positive perspective is when those barra are being tough as shit, it gives you something else to do.
Yeah, that's right. So some of the Bass dams have got Saratoga and all
Yeah.
that, and that's all cool, but no one really cares.
No.
I love the WA Jew.
Yeah.
I genuinely love that.
I'm happy to pencil that in. Now, I know it's not as people, our Queensland community might be going, oh, but they got giant tarpon and black bass and rooster fish. Yeah. Have you sunk a hook into a WA Jew? Because if not, holy
I'd
shit.
love to see what the dynamics are if you wanted to target a WA Jew over a nanny or a red.
Yep.
Is it just pot luck, or are we finding little pockets of each where maybe different depths of water or
Exactly.
different structure profile? Or
Well, it might open up a new fishery that's not, as in, well, obviously it does when you add a new species, but it could be the places that aren't necessarily covered in the big reds. That could be where the Jews, the Jewfish are.
yeah. It doesn't seem like a sexy answer, but I love it.
It's pretty cool though, and I don't reckon any of the reef guys will have any issue with it if we put that on as the Queensland edition.
Yeah, because it still fills the void too. Like, where else are you going to go? There's 2 places in the entire country that you can catch WA Jew, and they're at opposite, like literally opposite ends of the country.
Yeah,
So WA still maintain the cool factor of having Jewfish. Because it's not like you can just zip around the corner and South Australians are catching them going,
no.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah, it's very much
it's still
west,
a destination thing.
east, and there's no in between. So they're not down south, they're not up north.
I wonder which would get. I wonder if you were to introduce WA Jewfish into Queensland, if they would be smaller or larger on average than
Let's find
their
out.
counterparts from the opposite side of the country.
Let's find
Because
out.
that also creates a. Imagine they had like a snapper South Australian v Victoria, where one state was where the numbers were,
Well, it's a snapper,
but the other is where you got a PB. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Imagine there was
yeah.
that sort of rivalry. That's cool as shit.
All right, we're doing WA Jewfish for Queensland.
I think it's a great suggestion.
yeah, done.
I
Tick.
don't see a downside.
All right, it's New South Wales time, Adam. The New
This
South.
is a tough one because I feel as though they've got everything too.
Do they? Do they, Adam?
Oh, hit me with some suggestions.
All right. Well, firstly, I went out to 2 people. I went to Al McGlashan. I said, Al, we're adding a species to New South Wales. He's a proud Sydney sider. He loves his state of New South Wales. And he said,
yeah.
I love Al. But he always starts his sentence by telling you where he is and what he's fishing for at the moment. So, hey, mate, just out filming marlin and bite behaviour. So, and then he said, 1 species, huge tarpon from Florida. And I went, great call, but now I'm going, nah,
Just take it.
been done, Al.
We locked it into WA.
Love the shout, and I think it's brilliant. I think you're spot on. I also went to our good mate ET, Andrew Eddinghausen.
Yep.
We love ET, the nicest man in fishing. And I same question, ET, hit me up, and he said, and this is perfect. It's barramundi. It's the one fish I'd love to catch in New South Wales. They're hard to beat. They jump. They're fun. They grow to 30 kilo plus, and they taste pretty bloody good. Fucking nailed it, ET. Is there anything that man doesn't do right?
He did, but why do I feel as though Barra's a boring answer?
Oh, nah. Come on. if you could stretch barra down through New South Wales, you've got the whole eastern seaboard full of barra. It's sick. I think it's a perfect answer. You get the flowing from obviously up north. That's the Wild West. You know, that's the hardcore country. You get them coming through Queensland where you've still got river fish. You've got the impoundments.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, same in New South, full of estuaries that would be loaded with them. Some beautiful big impoundments and dams that you could fill with those big fish too.
Why am I not excited?
Why aren't you excited? I'm so disappointed, bro.
I don't know. Fuck. I don't know.
Well, hit me with something better. Oh, wait.
Well, it's getting hard now because we've locked in some mad species. And I'm not disappointed with any of the lock-ins because all of those lock-ins feel right. Everything feels right.
Let me put it in a way that might make you go, oh, yeah. Let's think about some of the big impoundment the Murray Cod impoundments, lakes and dams in New South Wales. Mm-hmm. What if there was barra in them as well? All of a sudden, the two most iconic Australian fish species coexisting. They're not going to hurt each other.
No, they're not. No, I agree.
Just living it up in a big impoundment. You're fishing. All of a sudden, you're fishing timber, trying to get a subtle bite out of it.
The daily double.
Mate.
A metre cod and a metre barra in the same sesh.
It's a cod barra comp. Like, who's having a cod and barra comp in the same... Like, come on, mate.
No, you're getting me there.
All right, here's another one, another scenario. You are fishing Waggonga Inlet, the far south coast of New South Wales. You're chasing big dusky flathead with the hope that you might get a big mulloway. Potentially, you might turn your focus to that at some point. But then you go, conditions are pretty good here. We could go target some of these big barra up around the oyster racks. I've got him. He's in. You know?
Fuck.
Yeah, you can go and cast your little surface lures at brim around the oyster leases. I'm targeting barra.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on brim. They'll still be there, although they might be thinned out a little bit.
A little bit. It's a worthy sacrifice.
But do you know what? I don't reckon they would because these systems are full of those big, stupid mullet that are just there for the picking for barra.
Yeah, and we can afford to thin a few of those.
Tailor,
I reckon.
Salmon, mullet, go to town barra. Yeah, you can knock off a few brim here and there, whatever. I don't think it's going to...
All right, hang on. Let me throw a counter. There's only one species I can think of right now. Replace your barra suggestion with mangrove jack.
Well, hang on.
So everything you just said, but mangrove jack.
Down the far south coast. Now, it's technicality. Are mangrove jack accessible in New South Wales at all?
Oh, fuck if I know.
I think you can catch mangrove jack in New South Wales.
Really? How far down? Because I know maybe they get mud crabs and whatnot.
Hang on.
Not that that's got anything.
Real-time Googling here, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I'm just going to ask. Can you catch mangrove jack in New South Wales? Yeah. You betcha.
How far down?
Down to Lake Illawarra region. That's like the Central Coast, isn't it? Or
really?
Further south. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Okay. All right. Well, it won't be mangrove jack.
It's a good shout though. Like if you could stretch them down all the way. Oh, yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but they're already there. They're already there.
They're already there.
Therefore, would there be barra already in New South Wales?
Oh, back to the Google machine. Here we go. Can you catch barra in New South Wales?
New South Wales.
They could be found in specifically stocked
Okay, so no, specifically stocked.
Aquaculture,
No, doesn't count.
Nah.
Doesn't count.
Nah.
You can't catch them recreationally.
No. No.
No.
No.
Okay, maybe it is Barra.
I mean, I want you all, completely bought in.
No, I am, and I can't think of anything else because I think New South Wales is very spoilt for choice, like Queensland.
One more to counter everything I'm fighting for here, but we keep suggesting it and then removing it, and that is the peacock bass. We have not found a home for it, and I feel like we have to, don't we?
Yeah, no, it's okay. I've got a home for peacock bass.
Okay. We've only
got
got
a
2 states to go after this.
Don't waste it. Don't waste it on New South Wales. They don't need it. I don't
Adam,
think.
I'm locking in Barramundi.
Okay. No, I'm happy because I can't think of anything else. Would Barramundi in New South Wales be more sexy than a sweet, like
Sweep.
sailfish season?
Yeah. They are heaps sexier than that because it's way more accessible for everyone.
But what if you could catch all of the billfish, including a sailfish, in one day?
But what if you could catch barra off oyster racks?
Yeah, I know.
On
I'd
frogs.
prefer to do it. Listen, I'd prefer to do that. But I'm just thinking, is there...
Would you rather catch... This is just one for you, question without notice. Would you rather catch 1 metre barra in a session or 3 sails? Probably trolling.
Oh, Barra, you lost me at trolling.
what I'm saying.
I was thinking about it seriously
What
until you said trolling.
Yeah.
Casting those lures that have got like hair off the back. There's got no hook. It just gets tangled in their bill.
But
You've seen that?
yeah. But what about yeah. Because I also just thinking about it, if the weather blows up, you can still go barra fishing.
That's true. I feel as though, oh no, we're not really.
It'd be pretty sweet chasing sails around like Southwest Rocks or Sydney Harbour.
Imagine
Barra in Sydney Harbour. This is what I'm saying. Everywhere.
Imagine
the Hawkesbury River just full of barra. It's barra. We're not even. It's
Imagine soaking a brim bait of a nighttime and hearing poof off the top.
and you would too. Et, fantastic suggestion. Excuse my friend here for pushing back on that.
No disrespect, ET.
He's had too much to drink. I'll take him home. Et, that's a great one.
Okay, Barra for New South Wales.
All right. We are going to Tasmania now, Adam. And
Yep.
there was only one person I thought I could flick a message to that would give us a good answer for this. And he didn't. Andrew Hart, I'm going to call you out because he responded to my message by saying, Trophy wild brown trout caught sight casting on dry fly from the Western Lakes. Ticks all the boxes.
Mate, we said give us something cool.
And I said, don't you already have that? And he said, oh, yeah, I misread it. Stand by.
Oh, Hardy, don't ever change.
Hardy, don't ever change. It was a great answer. It's a perfect Andrew Hart answer.
So we're still standing by.
No. He has come back, but I'm not sure. I'm not
Did you
sure.
misread it a second time?
No, he said, and this is where it's probably a bit of, maybe I didn't make it clear enough, but he said big king, like regular big kingfish, just consistent
okay.
1.3 meter kingfish.
Okay.
15 plus kilo regularly.
Yeah, okay. So the answer is peacock bass.
Well, okay, this one's interesting, right, Tassie, because we know there are species that just aren't there. Australian bass.
Well, I guess the thing we've got to answer is, do we care if some or a lot of the trout population gets wiped out?
No. No. We
Wouldn't have
need to.
thought so.
We need to be real about this. It is an attraction. It is a world class fishery for trout down there. Tourism's big. We don't want to kill the tourism. However, in international species that I'm obsessed with, and I don't. They're certainly not as cool as anything we've spoken about tonight. That I'd love to have here in some capacity are those redfish. I think they call them drum in some parts of
Yeah,
in the States.
I know what you're talking about. But as
Like
soon
a-
as you said overseas, I had a thought for Tassie. Northern pike.
It's the same sort of environment.
Coexist with trout and reddies
Wouldn't-
already.
wouldn't- they do, don't they? Boats are, shout out. You put me on a boat side. We've spoken about it on this podcast before. These two legends who are Finland. They're from Finland,
Yeah, I think
Finland.
pretty sure. Yep.
and that's perfect. Everything about the Northern Pike, the way they're fished for, is cool as shit. The
Yep.
lures they use are fucking
Anywhere from 1 inch to like 3 meters long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a 10-inch. Like thinking about like what we chuck around, what is considered really big now, like a 10-inch mag drop. Not that big for
No.
these things. They're chucking
No.
around 10, 13, 14-inch fucking hard bodies or jointed, swim baits.
Yep.
And you're right, they coexist with some of those species already. So is the water, the systems appropriate? I think they kind of are. The Western
I
Lakes,
think
or are they
so.
too shallow?
No, shallow doesn't mean
Shallow
no,
doesn't matter, does
doesn't
it?
matter.
They just sit down in the weed beds and fucking...
Yep.
Wow, I had not thought of that.
As soon as you said overseas, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Because I am a bit fixated on that particular species, thanks to you. And I think it's something the Deep Drop have to do.
Ooh, be pretty.
Trip, Finland,
Yeah,
jump on with boat side.
yeah.
Fuck.
Like with those paddle, like the little tube things where the
Yeah.
motor is your feet.
I don't love that. And maybe
Nothing
it's
can
because
eat
we
you,
come, but and that's the thing. Maybe it's because we come from Australia where everything fucking eats you.
Yeah.
I don't want to be paddling with my feet. But they do that with those big tarpon too, and I'm like, surely
Yeah,
there's
that's right.
there's an anaconda or some big giant snake under
Imagine
there.
trying to do that in Western Australia.
Nah,
Hard no.
Hard
There's no
no.
float tubes because you just get eaten
Yeah.
quickly, I'd think.
imagine doing it up
Especially with big black flippers.
territory for Barra.
Oh, it's over quickly.
Yes. Okay, so we're not, but we could do that in Tassie.
So Northern Pike for Tassie, you reckon?
It did not
don't
even.
hate it.
I love it. I love it. It didn't come into my head at all. I was
Because
kind
now
of
you-
thinking Aussie
Now
bass.
you
Like I
get
was
the
thinking
proper-
local.
Yeah.
Jewies,
Because
Aussie bass.
Aussie bass would be cool, but I think pike gives you the lure of a proper XOS species, a proper fish that can just grow ridiculously big.
Do they
Because
also?
yes, you can
are
get
they,
big trout and all that, but they're not like, a meter, 1.2 meter pike.
no, but some of those rivers in the western part of Tassie, they reckon that the biggest trout in the world.
Yeah.
And I wonder, do Northern Pike, are they in rivers as well, or is it just the big lakes?
Rivers
and
as
shit?
well. No, rivers as
It's
well.
perfect.
Yep. I think it could be it.
I've written
Top
it.
water.
I've written it down. It's in the book. Top water, exactly. So now so you've got, and again,
It's just a big freshwater sports fish.
because imagine you are there because the enthusiast will be there chasing trout,
Yep.
hook a trout on a fly, and then just gets eaten.
Incredible.
The fly fisher just goes home because they don't know what to do.
Trout
So then-
gone, fly gone, tippet gone,
Rod tip
angry and
snapped.
upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, like angry and upset fly fisho. What's not to love here?
So they leave the water and then we hit the water going, fuck,
And then
yeah,
we're
I
just, like,
heard that
chucking
from the
top
bank.
water
And we
plugs.
just, yeah. Fuck. And there's a lot of, and again, all of this, what I love about it is there will be a whole new tackle market, which is exciting.
Yeah, that's right.
But there's already shit that we've got here that you just start chucking around at Northern Pike.
I feel as though it's something the Tassie locals could get proper excited for as well.
Do you reckon they'd kind of take that same approach of not really pumping it up though? Because it's so epic that it's like, because Tassie's fucking unbelievable.
So many species.
Trout, brim, tuna, swordfish, kingfish, flathead, crayfish, like fucking everything.
Yep.
Yet they're just like, oh yeah, no, it's all right.
Yeah, no, it's pretty shit. You guys stay up there.
Which I respect.
Yeah.
Northern Tasmanians, you are now getting Northern Pike.
Enjoy your Northern Pike.
I'll be there soon.
The new AFL team might be the Tasmanian Pikers.
The Pikers. The Tassie Pike. I'd fucking buy a membership.
I would. The Tassie Pike.
Adam, it leaves us with only one state, and that is our home state of Victoria. And I thought, listen, we're going to tear this one apart, but I thought we could probably reach out to two people. I reached out to Lee Rayner first. Mm-hmm. And he just said, it's a hard one. And I completely agree with that opening sentence. It's a hard one. Because we are
pretty spoiled. We are pretty spoiled.
But he was pretty... He was pretty... He sent quite a detailed message, which was awesome. But he ended up coming back to, yes, I know we get the odd one here on the shelf, etc. But if we had a solid fishery for yellowfin tuna...
Okay, so he's gone blue water.
He's gone blue water. That's his bread and butter. He loves that shit. He also went on to say Spanish mackerel, all that sort of those reef species and pelagic species.
Spanish mackerel is just a salmon with teeth.
Haven't we got them? Are they barracuda?
Yeah, cuda.
No, that's...
it's...
I do agree. A Spanish mackerel run, even if it was seasonal run in Victoria, would be pretty fucking mad. Anyway, yellowfin tuna, Lee's gone with.
Okay.
Don't hate it at all.
Don't hate it. Don't hate it.
We'll come back to it. I reached out to our good friend Paul Worsling.
Yep.
Who's caught every fish there is in Victoria, I would have thought.
Yep.
Another two-worder. And I'm sorry, Paul. We've already ticked it off. He said black bass.
Black bass. Fuck.
Because I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, it's a bit of a throwaway line. And I went, nah. Imagine Eildon. Imagine the Murray. Imagine parts of like imagine Metro like the Yarra.
Oh, dude.
Black bass is a fucking
just drifting down the Nong.
It's
just smash it.
Just it's up one of the arms of Gippy Lakes.
Yeah, just high up the Tambo.
Something just ate my
Up
flathead.
the Snowy. Up the Snowy. You're right up the Snowy. Found the black bass.
Fuck. It's a great answer.
We've already used it, but
I know. But so equally, I think yellowfin tuna. If we had a yellowfin tuna fishery, fuck, it'd be amazing. Because I this might be frowned upon because I'm Victorian, but yellowfin over bluefin every day of the week.
Yeah,
I would almost do it.
That's not even a question, is it?
No, it's not. But if it was like if you had to trade one out, I'd go, yeah, it's an easy swap.
That's an easy
But we're
one.
not. We're talking about two fisheries, which is even more exciting for a lot of reasons when you think about it.
Yeah.
Different parts of the ocean, following different currents, following different seasonal and weather patterns. All of a sudden, this pretty cool tuna fishery happening. So I don't mind it. I've got a few, though, that I want to table before we lock anything in.
I've got one that I can't get past.
You go. Tell me. What have you got?
Hear me out.
We've got no choice.
Bonefish. And I'll explain. It literally covers the entire Victorian coastline and major fisheries. I feel as though we have a bay in Port Phillip Bay that is tailor-made for a thriving bonefish fishery. As you head further through to Gippsland, you've now got bays and estuaries and arms at which those fish could get up, and you've got a different class of bones. I feel as though Port Phillip Bay would be where you would go to catch big bones.
Firstly, you said, let me explain. Adam, you don't need to. You don't need to explain. It is a great call, mate. And
imagine sitting in the bottom lake of Malakuta and sight casting bonefish pushed up on the flats.
The bottom at the southern end of Port Phillip Bay, and I'll say from the, basically Corio Bay all the way around past the heads up into towards the Mornington Peninsula, where it's all shallow sand flats to a degree. It'll be this will be the mecca. The Port Phillip Bay will be the mecca of bones.
It's clear.
I don't reckon it'll be the home of the biggest ones, though. I reckon the biggest ones will be in Western Port. That heavy tidal water, just muscly fucking tough fish.
Yeah,
that live
and
up
you would
in
have to
there.
fish for them different. You're not sight casting them up on the flats.
That'd be hard work in there. That would be fucking hard work in there.
Oh no, maybe you could.
They're not
Yeah,
going
I ju-
to. They're
I
not
just
going to
feel-
damage anything other
Nope.
than potentially steal some food source from King George whiting.
Yeah, but there's enough.
Yep,
There's enough.
mate. It's a great call. It's a really really good call.
Can you imagine flicking a turtle back up your way for King George Whiting, and all of a sudden the fucking thing takes off like the clappers and takes a 100-meter run? You're like, this is not a King George Whiting.
Adam, we have a mutual friend who has done who does a lot of King George whiting fishing with soft plastic, with turtleback worms. He also catches bonefish in Hawaii on turtleback worms. He says that's what they just smash.
Just big armored whiting.
So I'm going to table a couple.
Just do the couple.
Yeah.
I think it's our home state. We're allowed to pick two, surely.
We'll come back to it. I just want to throw one out that we haven't mentioned anywhere, particularly in the southern parts, and that is the giant trevally. GTs are famously one of the toughest fighting fish in the ocean. On lures, on surface lures, they're explosive, they're visual, they're lots of fun. Even the smaller fish, which we often never hear about,
Yeah.
are unbelievably good fun on the flats and, in smaller, shallower parts, estuary systems and stuff. The only counter argument I have for myself on that is you still the big GTs will still be in those harder to reach places. Like you think about where we catch kingfish in Victoria, it's not easy to go out to those rocky headlands off like coastal ocean sort of coastal headlands.
Yep.
It's not it's still, and I'm not trying to make it easy. I'm just trying to add factors in. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if that is it.
Is it weird that I'm more excited about yellowfin
Nah,
in Vic than GTs?
No, I'm with you. I agree with that. As much as it'd be cool to say you've got
Be cool.
GTs out the back,
But yellowfin seems realistic.
Me too, yeah. The other one in that same sort of pelagic style I'd like to raise, which is nowhere near as cool, and I understand that straight off the bat, and it might be people up north going, "Well, that's not cool. That's not." But think about the waterways throughout Victoria, particularly the bays and just the offshore as well, but I'd call it almost inshore offshore. But the bays, can you imagine queenfish?
Yeah.
And-
Because realistically,
thing with queenies-
queenfish are the Australian salmon of up north in Australia.
But they're so much fun, ads. And can you imagine the kids out in potentially the piers
Yeah.
and jetties, and also out in the tinnies, because you don't need big offshore boats. Because those those queenies will be inside the bay just
Oh,
chopping
you'll
up
catch them off the beach.
all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
And you're just casting metal slugs at some even smaller queenies and stuff, and then you head out and you start into that deeper tidal water, whether it's just near the heads or offshore, and just getting some of those big suckers. I don't know. I think queenies are one not to sleep on. I reckon they're a great fish. They're a great
It's
sport
not
fish.
not a bad option. I think if you were picking something that every angling ability, access to land-based and boat options for bigger and smaller, it's not a bad option.
Yeah. So my final one, and again, it is very much an offshore species, is adding into the mix of Victorian coastline marlin. Now, I'm open to suggestions, whether it's
Still not
striped,
as cool as
black.
yellowfin. I'll say it.
No, I think you're right.
I still think.
But you know what I mean? Like,
I still think a big 60 to 80 kilo yellowfin, big sickles over a 100 kilo striped marlin. I've never caught either of them.
Yeah, I've only ever caught little yellowfin, and it is one of my absolute bucket list fish, a big yellowfin. So I think you're right there. It'd be cool to have a marlin fishery, though, when you think about it. Like, just to be able to go, I'm going to go spend the day chasing marlin. I think I got really pumped up after listening to Kurt on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
With blue marlin. But I come back to, of those, I think queenies would be great. I think it sort of the kids and all angling abilities getting into them. But I think bonefish is, I can't get past it. I think
I
you've
think for
nailed it.
inshore bones, I think you'd get the diversity in ways you can catch them. We'd work out how to catch them on top water, whatever.
We'd work out that this is the thing. If they're a resident fish in our fishery, it's one thing we do, I reckon, well, Australians. We work out different ways.
Yeah.
We've got the way. We're set in our ways, but we're very much also open to once someone. Usually, it's once you hear about it. But you and I always muck around with different shit.
Yeah.
We would find a way. We would find a way.
We'd find. Yeah. All right. Can we have two?
What's
Victoria?
What do you want to do? Yellowfin.
Bonefish and yellowfin.
Well, bonefish is. It's got to be number one. That's the one. If we were
yeah,
restricted to one.
Yeah. If we were restricted to one, I would say bones, but only because I'm not really an offshore fishing doesn't really.
I reckon we stick with one, only to be fair to the rest of the states, because we could have gone heavy on multiple species. But I'm looking through. Do you want me to recap this list, because it's
Please.
pretty fucking epic. We started in WA. We said giant tarpon.
Yep.
Think of that entire coastline of Western Australia.
Yep.
You're a chance
Feels
of
right.
tarpon. Feels good.
Feels right.
In the Territory, it was an absolute no-brainer. And when I run for Parliament in the Northern Territory in the coming years, I'll be pushing my case with introducing black bass, and I think
Yep.
I'll get over the line.
And even with the suggestions for black bass in other parts of the country, I feel as though that's the right one.
It's the
That's
right
the
one. Everything's right for them. Yes,
Yep.
agree.
Yep.
South Australia, we said we want to see snapper back, but we said that's a given. So let's move on. Rooster fish is what we're putting into South Australia.
That one feels really good.
So good.
Yeah, that one feels really good.
Queensland, we threw around the idea of black bass and tarpon, but we couldn't because we'd already named them. The rule was they only get,
It's a draft.
put
It's
in one
off the
spot.
board.
WA jewfish is what we landed on, and I feel so good about that.
I do. I genuinely do as well.
We might get a bit of negative press from Queensland saying, "Oh, that's not as cool as those other ones."
No, but please tell us what should be there. Now, bear in mind, we're firm on the rest of our suggestions. So you don't just say, oh, black bass should be. No. It's been taken.
Yep.
It's been drafted. Northern Territory drafted black bass. It's off the board.
We probably should have had a draft lottery in hindsight.
Yeah, but it's too late now.
New South Wales, ET called it, and you were
Took me
resistant,
a little while to get over the line.
but you got there.
I got there.
Barramundi in New South Wales, thanks.
I'd still like to hear from some New South Welshmen what else they would like
Okay.
if it wasn't a barramundi.
Yeah, fair enough. Tassie, curveball,
is-
but it's so right.
Never thought we'd say it.
Northern pike.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
It's such a good fit. And I'd love to hear, I know we've got some Tassie folk that listen that are part of the community. Please let us know what you think about that. Because, and if you're not familiar with that species, please do yourself a favour, real talk, go over to Boatside on YouTube.
Yep.
Two guys who are hilarious. They're very entertaining, very good anglers in their own right. And watch what they do with northern pike, chasing northern pike. Because they're not easy fish either, by the way.
That's right.
But holy
You gotta work,
shit,
but
they're impressive. And they're
Yep.
big. And they're not. Like, you could still catch a bunch of smaller fish and have awesome fun with them. That's the thing.
Yep.
But then
it's
there's
not
the
just
trophy.
trophy. It's everything in between.
And Victoria, we brought it home with bonefish ads, and it just feels bloody good.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Feels
Love
good.
it. I mean, that's a good list. That's a
It's a
solid
solid
list.
Now, the biggest, I think, notable omission was that we didn't get there with peacock bass.
We didn't end up getting there.
We were too scared of completely obliterating a fishery.
Because we kind of said, don't worry about water temperatures and stuff. This fish will adapt. But we did say we have to keep in mind, is it going to fuck every other fishery?
That's right. Is it going to throw the balance out?
We don't think tarpon, black bass, rooster fish, jewfish, barramundi, northern pike or bonefish are going to do that in their respective states. But every time we mentioned peacock bass, we thought, oh,
Wave goodbye to Aussie bass or wave goodbye to
jungle perch.
jungle perch or, that's
Yeah.
just didn't feel like the right thing to do. How responsible are we?
Mate, I'm
Just saying.
yeah. I mean, I hope if any of this gets thought about in real time, they refer to us.
Yeah. Sensible human beings
Yeah.
that suggested we introduce some species because, wow.
Northern pike in Tassie feels fucking so right, by the way.
So out of all of those, which one do you think could be like, it could actually happen? Which one out of all those do you think
Are we still-
feels like?
Are we
that could
still
happen?
saying that temperature thing's not a thing? Because I like
Yes. Yes, no. Take the temperature, just
Yeah,
as
yeah.
in like what could you, if you were to
There's not much
snap your fingers and wake up tomorrow, if it was going to be real, would you say, oh, I'm surprised it's actually not real already?
looking at the list, they're not that crazy. Rooster fish in South Australia is probably the most out there, if I'm being real. But if you said to me WA jewfish are now in good numbers off far north Queensland or the Whitsundays, I'd go, oh, fuck yeah, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
hell yeah, let's have a crack.
But it makes sense. If you said that the Western Lakes in Tassie were filled
with northern pike.
so I'm moving there tomorrow.
Yeah.
But again, it makes sense. Like great, like that's barramundi throughout New South Wales. Yeah, it's the Australian species. It's the iconic species. Why wouldn't it be?
The black bass in Northern Territory, I actually can't believe it's not real.
That's
I can't believe it doesn't already exist. Knowing that those two species already coexist somewhere else in the world,
Yeah.
I cannot believe Australia, the northern part of Australia, does not have black bass. I can't believe
But
it.
even when you say giant tarpon in WA, and you go, obviously that's so far away from where that, but it wouldn't surprise you because WA
that's right.
is such
You can see
a
it.
crazy fishery.
Yeah, you could say like if we were to lock in tarpon on the south coast of New South Wales, I don't feel as though it feels as promising as the Western Australian coast.
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
And then even, to be honest, bonefish in Victoria, aside
Feels
from the
right.
fact of that tropical environment or whatever,
Yeah.
it still feels very much that it could be a
feels like
thing.
We've got the environment. We just don't have the water temperature. It's the only thing we're missing.
If you cruise the shallows of Port Phillip Bay, that clear water, it's the perfect habitat.
Yeah.
So there's nothing here. Like I agree. I think the black bass just feels so like it should be a thing already. Like I do think that the rooster fish thing in South Australia is the most far fetched, probably with the tarpon, but it's also
It feels pretty
good.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna. I tell you what we're gonna do, Ads. We're gonna
Rooster fish at Yallada sounds right. Rooster fish at Gunnamatta Back Beach doesn't. Does it?
doesn't. But does rooster fish in those close gutters of beaches at Eden on the south coast of New South Wales?
Yeah, that would be.
That feels
100%,
kinda right.
but Yes, 100%. That would make sense.
Do you get? Yeah, I feel like we could
We
go
could go
on.
forever.
Yeah, we need to stop. We're going to put. I tell you what, there will be a tile with these 7. I had to count then.
Yeah.
Do we need to include ACT?
Nah.
These 7 states.
Tassie's lucky they got a jersey. Let's be honest.
Should we? What if you were to add one to New Zealand? But all right. Here's the rule. It has to be an Australian species, so something that already exists in Australia.
Easy.
What?
Dusky flathead.
Yeah, I love it. Perfect.
Seems like it should already be there. We should already be having friendly banter between Aussies and Kiwis on
and
who's got the bigger Duskies.
And if you, I'm getting sidetracked. If any of those harbours and marine, it's perfect dusky ground.
Yep.
It's crazy they're not there. Aussie bass would be interesting in all the fresh water they've got.
Yeah.
Imagine the clear water. Anyway, that's a different episode. We are going to throw up a tile at some point throughout the week, Adam, with these 7 species and states. And let's just get some feedback. Let's get some dialogue going on what everyone thinks.
Just list your state.
Tell me, tell us where you're from.
What you would say.
If you're happy with that, where you'd start chasing them, or if you disagree.
If you've got another suggestion, but bear in mind this is a draft, so please don't use any other species that have been locked in.
Yep.
I just want a suggestion that we haven't brought to the table.
Yep.
Love it.
Hey, I'm just going to stop real quick. Do you want to just skip top 6 tonight? Because I'm at an hour 37, and
I was just about to say the same thing. Do we just call this?
Yeah, this is
the fantasy fishing draft special.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. And we don't do the top 6. I thought exactly the same
Top
thing.
6 is going to be another 15 minutes or so.
I know. And I've got no timer going up here because of Riverside. I'm like, it feels like we've been going for fucking ever.
Well, it's an hour 38, and we had probably 10 minutes fuck around. maybe.
I reckon we leave it.
Yeah.
I don't reckon
All right.
we do the top 6.
All right, I just need to.
Feels like a good special. It feels like a guest episode without having a guest.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm keen to hear what everyone thinks. Ads. It's been I've enjoyed spending the night going through this with you. I knew we'd be able to break this down.
Fun.
And thank you everyone for the feedback. Curtis Waterman, Mark Singleton, Leuben Pfeiffer. Who else did we speak to? E.T. and Al McGlashan, Andrew Hart, who finally wrapped his head around what we're asking him. Worstling, Rayner, bit stiff because Yellowfin Tuna is pretty. I don't think
There's a very close second for Vic. I thought Yellowfin Tuna.
I'm going to message Lee because I don't think he'd complain if he found out we went with bonefish.
We had bones.
Yeah, I reckon he'd be happy with our choice. Yeah. Anyway, let us know what you think. This is a lot of fun. We might revisit this. We might revisit this for another draft.
List later on. Yeah, redraft.
Redraft. Shit.
Redraft.
Does Peacock Bass make the list then? Probably not. Maybe not. Maybe.
I think we need to do a redraft. We can't. We're already planning a redraft, and we haven't even technically launched this one yet.
Is it the next 7 species that aren't on this list?
If we go redraft, but we get the guests on to represent each state to talk through some suggestions, and we pick one, but we actually do a draft so that we do them in order. So we draft an order, who gets pick 1 and who gets pick 7.
Because
that changes everything. Because everyone
actually
suggested
does.
tarpon.
Everyone wanted black bass and tarpon. Final question for you. Which state improves the most? Because, okay. As much as I love the WA Jewfish in Queensland, it improves it, but does it improve it as much as black bass in the Territory?
I think that's number 1.
Does it improve it as much as barramundi all throughout New South Wales? Does it improve it as much as northern pike in Tasmania? So for me, the top 3 states that have improved their status are the Territory, adding black bass, New South Wales, including barramundi, and Tasmania, adding northern pike.
No, I think I'm happy with that.
Don't get me wrong. Adding bones to Victoria, jewfish to Queensland, roosterfish to South Australia, and tarpon to WA, it's all a huge uplift.
All wicked.
But
I feel as though if you add those, what's going to bring in international guests?
Mate, Tassie.
And I think those top 3 are right. If you had barramundi in New South Wales, maybe you could argue the climate's still not as good as what it is in up north with the warmth and what. But you know what? If you could catch barramundi without getting eaten by mosquitoes and crocs, why the fuck wouldn't you?
With all due respect, like if you could catch barra and target barra and it's not 45 degrees and humid as fuck and you're literally wet, soaking wet when you walk out in the morning, I'm open to that.
Yeah. Northern Territory would very quickly just become a black bass fishery. Like fuck barra.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's an interesting side note, but we'll leave it at that.
That's good.
I can't wait to hear some feedback about this throughout the week. Adam, we'll chat to you and the community real bloody soon. What a pisser of an episode.